one of the things that I've been hoping to see is Dorian Finney-Smith have a game where he's productive. Okay. The Lakers really, really need Dorian Finney-Smith to be productive. All right. So he hit 4 threes yesterday, 6 of 8 from the field. He had a nice game. Dorian Finney-Smith had a nice game. Like I mentioned, I know who the Lakers' opponent was, so you're never going to put too much stock into that. However, what I will tell you is this. I just need to see that Dorian Finney-Smith feels more and more comfortable. Maybe it takes a game like the Wizards for him to feel more and more comfortable, because tomorrow, when they're taking on the Boston Celtics at Crypto, it is going to be so important, not just for tomorrow, but for the rest of the season, that Dorian Finney-Smith is a productive player. Can I tell you guys, there are so many reasons why the Lakers need Dorian Finney-Smith to be a good player. All right, let me give you some of these examples. Number one, they need him. You go look at that roster. You go look up and down that roster. There's a lot of players that are just naturally inconsistent. I know I say that all the time, and it probably gets annoying saying it. Do you know what Rui's going to give you every night? Because I don't. Do you know what Gabe Vincent's going to give you every night? I don't. Max Christie, Dalton Connect, go down the list of every single player. The only 3 players that I have some sort of, confidence, of course, LeBron and Anthony Davis. I got a good idea what they're going to give. Reeves could be a little up and down. Reeves could have a game where he's super efficient, a lot of assists, or Reeves can have a game like yesterday where I think he had 16 points, but it took him 15 shot attempts to get those 16 points, and he was 1 of 8 from the three-point line. They are so desperate for consistency. And Dorian Finney-Smith, there's many reasons why they need DFS to work on this Lakers team. One of the reasons is, just go look at the roster. He's a player that has to produce, and he has to be a player that produces every single night. Let me give you another reason why DFS is so important. They need to win that trade. All right? Put D'Angelo Russell and his skill set away. Put whatever he brought to the Lakers and put that to the side. Clearly, the Lakers thought they need to trade D'Angelo Russell, and they need to bring a different type of player in, and they identified a player, and it was Dorian Finney-Smith. But you know what we cannot have happen since that trade went down? This is what we cannot have happen. What we can't have happen is people in the chat, either in the morning or during the post-game show, saying, Al, are we sure that was the right trade? Al, are we sure that the Lakers shouldn't have used D'Angelo Russell's contract? I'm not saying the justification of keeping D'Lo on the team. What I'm talking about is D'Lo's contract was very important. There were a lot of teams that had interest in D'Angelo Russell's contract. There's a lot of teams out there that thought to themselves, okay, if we make a move for the Lakers, all right, what are we getting back? Can we get some draft compensation? I like D'Lo's contract because that money is off the books by the time the year is done. D'Angelo's contract was very important. And if you were going to make a trade using D'Lo's contract, you better win that trade. You better be bringing in a player that you feel really comfortable with is the right fit for the Lakers for the immediate future, and then, hopefully for the next couple of years or so. So the Dorian Finney-Smith trade, it has to work for the Lakers, and they need him to be a productive player, but they also need to make sure that we're all not looking past the trade deadline and saying, damn, we could have got that player with D'Lo's contract and we didn't do that. Or that player would have been a lot more productive for the Lakers. It's a weird thing for the Lake Show. How many different players have we seen coming into the trade? Dorian Finney-Smith, I think, was shooting 43, 44% from three, something along those lines. DFS was very, very productive from the three-point line. How many different players have we seen that have either came to the Lakers through a trade, came to the Lakers in the offseason, came to the Lakers through a buyout, and then all of a sudden they're not the same player? That actually, the clip that I'm going to play from D'Angelo Russell a little bit later, I should probably actually just do that right after. I'll do that right after. The clip from D'Lo talks a little bit about that. Does that have something to do with the Lakers? Does that have to do with people feeling the pressure? Does that have to do with the ball doesn't move enough? Whatever the case is, Dorian Finney-Smith, 16 points last night, hit 4 threes, 6 of 8 from the field. Very important. Critical for the Lakers that man works on this roster. Like I said, I've already seen enough comments where people are like, hey, are we sure that was the right trade? Are we sure that's exactly what the Lakers wanted to do? They want to trade for DFS. And then the biggest thing is when you start looking at all the different trade scenarios out there, when you start looking at the type of players Lakers can get, every article mentions, well, they can't get this player or that player because they already traded D'Angelo Russell. So that gives you a little bit of that. I'll play that D'Lo clip here in just a second. I just want to see some of the comments here as we go. Let's see here. Oh no, don't start doing this, guys. I don't want to start seeing this. Am I going to start seeing this? All right, let me read a couple of these here, and then we'll go. Turn the game off at halftime. I don't blame you. Good question, Slee. Why doesn't JJ give Shake a chance instead of forcing Vincent on us? I would not mind seeing Shake Milton get some opportunities. But let me stay on topic here because, like I said, I really want to see what people think. DFS was a lateral move, a move Rob made just to go through the motions of being a GM. Yeah, that's not good if that was the case. Again, I go back to it. Some of this has to do with, if you were going to trade D'Angelo Russell, was just such a key piece in that on that chessboard. You don't have too many pieces left. You can't make any mistakes with the pieces that you have. You don't have crazy assets. You're not sitting in a position of strength. So I thought that D'Lo trade was going to be critical. It was going to be important, and you got to make sure whatever trade that you make, because once you made the trade for D'Lo, once you traded D'Lo and that contract was gone, basically guys like Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, Jimmy Butler, all those guys are gone. So the question was going to be, okay, if you get DFS, are you good now, at least from that perspective? Do you feel comfortable with it? I did when the trade happened. And then, and still to this point, I'm sitting there saying to myself, oh, no, they're going to need more from Dorian Finney-Smith. This guy can't be a player that's super inconsistent or unreliable. He's got to be a player that the Lakers look at and are very, very confident with his play night in and night out. All right, let me see what else. See what we got here. No one wants to face the Lakers in the playoffs. I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all, to be honest with you. I think, do you think the Denver Nuggets are concerned about facing the Lakers in the playoffs? Do you think OKC is concerned about facing the Lakers in the playoffs? I think Memphis and Houston would be interesting. Memphis has not had good luck against the Lakers. They haven't. Houston's super young. And I don't know if we know what they're going to be come postseason. So I think there are some teams out there that got no problem facing the Lakers. But I think that also comes with the territory, right? Matchups, what's it going to look like, everything else. All right, let me get a couple more here on DFS. He's so inconsistent. Isn't that just every Laker player that comes? All right, let me read a couple of these supers, and then I want to play this this clip of D'Angelo Russell. Let me wait on the supers just because I don't think it's not really on topic. So I'll get to those supers here in just a second. Let's look at this D'Lo clip, because as I sit here and I'm talking about D'Angelo Russell and I'm saying, hey, this guy's got to work. I'm talking about Dorian Finney-Smith. As I say that Dorian DFS has to work and D'Lo's contract was important, and all these players that have got traded to the Lakers, and then all of a sudden they're not the same player, or all of a sudden they're not hitting their shots, or maybe they just don't look as comfortable. I mean, the player that comes right off the gate, two players, Malik Beasley, who's balling right now, Spencer Dinwiddie, who we watched when the Lakers were in Dallas a couple weeks ago or so, maybe about 3 weeks ago or so. So those are just a couple players. And I know there's a long laundry list. All right, if you enjoyed this clip and you want more, just subscribe to the channel. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the Sliwa Show. And then after every Lakers game, post-game show right here.